Many of you have probably wondered what would happen to our planet and all living organisms on it if the sun suddenly went out. Would we be able to live without it, because the sun not only gives us light and heat, but also affects gravity? In this video we will talk about what awaits mankind if the sun will never again illuminate the earth, and whether mankind can survive in such a case. If the sun goes out suddenly. Ancient peoples honored the sun as the supreme deity and the source of life on earth. Indeed, thanks to him our planet is maintained at a temperature comfortable for the existence of life. Plants, animals, and people all depend on the sun. Hence the question arises, can life on the planet exist without the sun, and if so, how long can living organisms survive anew, not adapted for this environment? If the sun suddenly goes out, people will know about it not immediately, but only after 8 minutes and 20 seconds. The whole point is that this is how long it takes for the rays of light to reach our planet. After this short period of time the planet will plunge into chaos, and this will be the beginning of the collapse of life on planet Earth. You bet, because it will be a dark night on Earth. People will not be able to see even the moon, because the Earth's satellite itself does not produce light, but only reflects the sun's rays like other space objects. After that, the Earth will begin to cool rapidly. The lack of light will stop the process of photosynthesis. And after a few days without sunlight, many plants will die. Only large trees will be able to survive longer, several years, due to the large supply of glucose that plants produce during photosynthesis and slow metabolism. The average temperature of the Earth will drop to -20 degrees Celsius, and in a year it will be about -70 to 80 degrees. The planet's water basins will begin to freeze, eventually turning to ice to kilometer depths. After the death of plants, plant-eating animals will die of hunger and cold. Many predators will go without food. Only animals adapted to eating carrion will have food for a while. But eventually all living things will freeze or starve to death. The microorganisms living deep underground and in volcanic activity zones will be able to survive the longest. This is where the heat from the planet's interior will save them. The oceans will be completely covered with ice. And under the thick layer of ice at the bottom of the ocean due to the internal heat of the Earth, survival of living beings is also possible. Especially in the zones of underwater volcanoes, where molten magma will heat the environment. And what will happen to people in such a world? For mankind, life will not end instantly. People even in the absence of sunlight will be able to survive in deep bunkers or underwater cities, using geothermal energy as heating. In Iceland, for example, this is already being done now. Nuclear power also remains a possibility. And plants can be grown, for example, under artificial light. Of course, there will not be enough space in such autonomous dwellings for everyone, but mankind will be able to exist in such conditions for several decades. Unfortunately, without plants on Earth, the oxygen content of the atmosphere will steadily decrease. There will be nothing to replenish vitamin D, which is produced in the body under the influence of sunlight. So man will be able to survive for a while, but in the end he will be doomed. Eventually, the only ones that will be able to continue to live on Earth will be anaerobic bacteria. These are microorganisms that develop regardless of the presence of oxygen in the nutrient medium.